Hey there, I'm Judy Croon. Welcome to another episode of Psychic Friday, because it's Friday. Today's guest is Psychic Nikki, and Nikki's got some amazing predictions. Psychic Nikki, known as Psychic to the Stars, a Toronto-based clairvoyant recognized for her celebrity clientele and media presence. Nikki, welcome to the show again.
Oh, well, thank you, Judy.
So let's talk about, before we talk about May, the rest of May, predictions for the rest of May. I love having you on for your monthly predictions. Let's talk about predictions, whether they were good or bad, that have come true recently.
Well, I said that Mark Carney would get in as Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I feel that he's very good with Trump.
Yes.
I think Trump likes it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, that can change. You know what I mean?
Of course.
He's a Gemini, Trump, and Geminis change all the time, right?
For sure.
But I like Mark Carney. There's a calmness about him. I don't know what it is. I really like it,
He's great.
So I think that could be all right. And I predicted the Leafs would get into the playoffs.
Wait a second. I got to stop you there. You actually predicted that the Leafs were going to win the Stanley Cup.
I've been wrong in the past. Sports is not my,
Well, let's go with that until we don't.
Go.
Yeah, go Leafs. Go Leafs, go. Yes.
Right?
Right.
So that happened. A bad thing happened. The Argentine earthquake that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I predicted that.
Yeah.
And also, I predicted an earthquake in Malibu, which happened.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so that we don't want earthquakes.
Of course not.
We want the Leafs to win.
Yes, that would be
Right?
much
and
better.
It's a big thing. So Leafs, if you're listening to Psychic Nikki, I can always come down there.
Or they can just go to your web.
Maybe make it happen.
Yes, that is true. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I want to give your contact info here, by the way, because here's the thing about Psychic Nikki, folks. She puts all of her predictions throughout the year on her website, so you can go back many years. psychicnikki.com. psychicnikki.com. So go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah. So all these things are starting to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are worried about the tariffs.
Yeah.
I see it going up and down somehow. You know what I mean? He's so changeable.
I know.
President Trump,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he keeps on changing his mind. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they say we're going into a recession. I had predicted that last year, a little bit of a recession, but I think we can come out of this as well,
Mm-hmm.
happy and strong. It's just got to be patient and just keep on going.
Yeah. Now, what other predictions do you have? What are you seeing on the horizon for Donald Trump or Elon Musk or?
Well, I'm a little worried about Donald Trump's health. Okay. I was looking at his face and everything, and I don't think he's that well. And he has to still be careful of danger, particularly after June the 9th, because after June 9th, Jupiter comes out of his sign, so he won't have that protection there. So, and he has to be careful on golf courses, and hopefully nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk, I still see him doing a lot of space exploration. I admire him for that. Really, I think he's very right on about people going to Mars and living there in the future. I really believe that, for sure.
And it would be okay if he went and lived on Mars. But here's the problem. Now he's involved in politics, and I think that's what's got people stressed out.
Yeah, he's backed off a little bit, from the whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was doing him too much good for a while, so he's backed off a little bit. I think he should stick to the space exploration and stuff like that. He's very good at that stuff, so.
Now, you've been known for making numerous predictions. One of the recent predictions here locally was the airplane that went down at Pearson Airport. You actually called that. That happened.
Yeah.
And you've been known for making numerous predictions, including events involving public figures, global occurrences. Do you have anything in the celebrity stratosphere that might be happening over the next little while?
So, Rihanna, I that she would be pregnant with another child, and she is pregnant.
Yes,
with her third
correct.
child.
Right.
Yeah, I see that. But, you know, she's with Rocky, but that could become Rocky after a while. You know, he might have a roving eye at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I love Rihanna. I think she's amazing. You know, I really do. There could be a split between Beyonce and her husband at one point.
Yeah, well, you called that. You called that at the beginning of the year, so.
Yeah, I did. And, you know, now I think Billy Ray Cyrus is in a relationship right now for the time being with Elizabeth Hurley, which is very different.
Yeah, that's an odd combination.
That's a very odd combination. And also Martin Short and Meryl Streep.
Yes, I know, how cute.
Kind of an odd combination. But, you know, they're both talented. I wish them lots of luck.
For sure.
I met both of them, by the way.
Oh, what were they like?
Very nice. Meryl Streep is very good looking in person.
I bet.
Really good looking. And, you know, Martin Short, very talented. He's just the way he is on the screen is the way he is in person.
That's great.
They're both amazing, you know. I met Meryl with a friend of mine in Los Angeles at an event, and she was very, very sweet.
Cool.
Very nice, and came over to our table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Martin Short, he's from Hamilton originally, right? So he did a lot of work in Toronto, and I met him through different events and things like that. And he's just so funny and so amazing, right?
So naturally funny, like just so quick.
Naturally funny, very happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's doing a new game show.
Oh, really?
I think yes, I do. Match Game, I think it is.
Oh, excellent. That'll be great.
He'd be great at that. He's good at anything. He's very talented.
He is.
But they still, both of them have to watch their health a little bit, that's all.
Okay.
We don't want that to happen, right?
I'm on the phone with Psychic Nikki, Psychic to the Stars. She can be reached at psychicnikki.com. You can also find her on X at Psychic Nikki. She does monthly predictions. We check in with her for monthly predictions. If you'd like a reading with Psychic Nikki, her phone number is 416-961-7976. Before I let you go, Nikki, do you have any last predictions or last gut feelings, or do you want to tell us anything about what's happening astrologically that we might have to adjust to?
There's one thing I didn't mention. I don't want to scare people.
Sure.
But you're going to see more UFO sightings. Now, I did say, you know, at the end of the year on my predictions, right, that there could be aliens in ships in our airspace.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I mean, they're seeing more UFOs all over the place right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, the government hasn't said too much about it lately, but it's there. And, you know, they found another planet, which they say humans could live on.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Oh my gosh, and I predicted that.
Yeah, well, you did predict that because they said that planet it's very far away, obviously, but it's very similar to Earth, but bigger than Earth.
I predicted that, and I really believe that still. I believe that there's another, you know, universe out there like ours, and there's people that are like us.
All right, Psychic Nikki, you can go to her website at psychicnikki.com, or you can give her a call at 416-961-7976. Psychic Nikki, Psychic to the Stars, a Toronto-based clairvoyant. She's read for people like Cher, Tom Cruise, and she's been on numerous TV shows, and all sorts of media outlets have written articles, the Toronto Sun, the Globe and Mail, the National Post. But like I said, what I like about Nikki is she puts her predictions on her website, so you can go back there for years and see all the stuff that she has predicted. Psychic Nikki, once again, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Happy May.
Well, listen, happy May. It's my birthday month.
Yeah, so let's make this a good one.